said to me, he says, well, how would you evacuate London?
All right, let me stop you because, again, this is so bombshell. It's not that they're just planning for a contingency. They're saying this is going to happen. They're saying that we, as security officers, are going to be involved in the evacuation of London. That's what I've got. That's my quote. That's what's written down. It's not a possible evacuation. I've said that. I said, well, maybe it's a possible evacuation because this sounds crazy. But actually, they're talking about, they said, you are going to be involved in the evacuation of London and you will be dealing with members of the public. If you live in Greenwich or in southeast London near Woolwich Barracks, you will hear Chinook helicopters going backwards and forwards all night long, and that's them bussing in these troops. And a British Army major, who's a doctor there, told me that he's got to look after 100,000 troops as they come through Woolwich Barracks, and then they moved on to other barracks in and around London. And he said he's seeing a lot of Americans, and he's seeing a lot of Germans, and a lot of other nationalities. And I said, what are these UN troops? And he said, yeah, I think so. And they use all these events to acclimate us to martial law. They've had NLE 09, all these other events. They use NATO, G20. They bring in the foreigners to do this. It's all part of just conditioning the security services that all of this is normal. And media whitewashes Olympic security scandal. They admit there's a scandal, but don't talk about the whistleblower. This guy was involved in exposing Steak Knife and other code-named leaders of staged terror attacks in England. So very, very, very powerful report. Okay, shifting gears out of that, TSA's new celebrity-free pass, Jeff Lewis versus Beyonce. House panel to TSA stop patting down the Beyonce, being sarcastic, she's not going to blow up a plane. So now they're saying they won't pat down the Congress people and the trendy Wendy's. They're just going to grab your 5-year-old's genitals. Train them to Jerry Sandusky. They ought to name all the airports. Jerry Sandusky of Austin, Jerry Sandusky of New York, Jerry Sandusky of Los Angeles. And they can all, the TSA can all wear rubber masks of Jerry Sandusky. So we've got that reports. There's certain people that are well known. You just have to use common sense because if you start patting them down, people are going to say, they're patting down, you know, Mr. Trendy. She's not going to blow up a plane, explains Rogers. The whole point is we're all slaves. That's the political correctness. We don't pat down the Muslims. We leave them alone and gang rape you. But we run real Al-Qaeda when they attack Libya and Syria, but never mind that. Okay, J.P. Morgan trading losses may reach $9 billion. How about quadrillion? J.P. Morgan created this fraud on purpose. Jamie Dimon, it's not $2 billion, it's $9 billion. On and on and on. In April, the bank generated an internal report that showed the losses, assuming worst-case conditions, would reach $8 billion to $9 billion, according to a person who reviewed the report. Doesn't matter, they'll just get our tax money. But if the IRS claims you didn't buy proper health insurance, they'll give you penalties and interest and take your house because they care about your children's health care, which they're not made to give you under the plan written by bankers that own the insurance companies, pieces of crap like Jamie Dimon. But hey, don't let the facts get in your way. I had a Democrat call in today, and he said, I don't believe insurance companies wrote it. And I said, they admit they did. Let me give you proof. No, I just don't believe it. Doesn't matter, they're making all these big giant profits. You know, everything's fine. Well, we have a clip. What do we have a clip of? Oh, Howard Dean saying it. Here. This is why Howard Dean got shunted off. Here's Howard Dean a couple years ago telling you, P-Brain. Here it is.
But I think people really wanted to see more change. They voted for real change, and a lot of Republicans voted for real change, too. We haven't delivered it. The health care bill, you know, a lot of people sitting around with special interests making deals. The Senate bill is essentially written by the insurance companies.
I told the president twice in 2 different meetings that I couldn't support the bill if it didn't have a robust public option, and if it, at least if they didn't have something that was going to protect consumers from these rapid premium increases. And you know what? The White House counts me as wavering. The insurance companies are the problem, and we're giving them a version of a bailout.
But Kucinich got pressured, so did Dean, and they shut up. Again, if you're a good commie, you think you're going to get a free lunch, you never get it. Big monopoly capitalists want socialism and communism, but only at one level, to steal it for themselves. They wrote it. They invented it. And just because you're emotionally attached to this, admit you've been conned. Admit you've been conned. The globalists are trying to take over the libertarians, too. They want full spectrum dominance. That's what they talk about. The final revolution, total takeover. They're in control because they know what they're doing. They don't have an ideology other than gang raping you. They're pirates. That's their ideology. Let's shift gears. We told you this years ago, but here it is. Texas college hacks drones in front of DHS. We've got a new drone video, just went up tonight. What did I title that video? The drone wars begin. Yeah, the drone wars begin. A group of researchers led by Professor Todd Humphreys from University of Texas at Austin were able to break in and take over drones with just $1,000. Well, these drones are meant to fight zombie fluoride heads, so that doesn't matter. It's our tax money used against us. Here is natural news, shifting gears out of the drones. Where are all the dead bodies from swine flu? It was supposed to kill millions worldwide 4 years ago. It didn't. It was proven to make people sick. Mike Adams goes over all the numbers of that giant hoax that they used against the people. Now, I've got the daily quote for you, and I know what you've been watching for. I know what you've been listening for, and that is the winners of the Reporters Contest. And I got some good news for you, and I got some bad news for you. So we're going to be getting to that in a moment. But first, French writer Lucas de Clapiers. Did I say it right? The art of pleasing is the art of deception. Lucas de Clapiers. What pleases me is plain speaking, truth, reality. What's so refreshing about Ron Paul? His son is still a great patriot, but it's unrefreshing to see him begin to walk down that political road. So the art of pleasing is the art of deception. Okay, that said, with the quote, let us now shift gears to the winners, drum roll please, of the Reporter Contest. I don't feel like I'm doing justice here announcing the winners. I said, look, I'm not 100% ready. I know who I think is going to win, but I want to wait till tomorrow. And they're like, Al, it's just been 2 months and 2 days since the contest closed. You said you would probably announce it in a month. We understand there were 600 plus people that actually got into the contest and followed the rules. It's down to the top 10 males, top 10 females. And so there's a compromise here tonight. I will give you the winner, the female winner right now, of the female side of the competition, representing humanity, male and female, who are one. The globalists advertise it as we are different and sell us that. All the women that entered were winners. All the men that entered were winners. I have spent days conservatively, I mean, we're talking 5-6 days probably in the last 2 months, trying to watch these and everybody watching them and trying. I'm sure there are people who didn't make the top 20 or top 10 that deserve to be there. I'm sure. The point is you took action. You showed how big this audience is. You put out reports that thousands have watched, sometimes hundreds of thousands have watched. You've done an incredible job. You've all been winners. You know, I never watched those game shows or those shows, you know, American Idol, America's Got Talent. But I finally, like 10 o'clock last night, saw the second hour of that show Howard Stern hosts, because me and my wife, we put the kids to bed. We said, oh, let's turn TV on. It was Howard Stern and America's Got Talent. I felt terrible when they were having to vote this person, vote that person. It was funny. I was watching TV and I was thinking, my gosh, this is what this is like. And everybody, I mean, of the top 10 women, any of you could do it. And all the other women and all the other reporters, it was just insane how good you were. And we have a plan to try to get enough sponsors, enough capital to turn loose all these great leaders, men and women, to be able to have you work here or as correspondents in other areas to produce reports, whether it's part-time or full-time. It's a money issue. I want to hire like 4 of the women and 4 of the men. I want to bring them here. I want to put them in this seat and send them out and put them on airplanes and fly them all over the world. I mean, I don't have the money. Donate to us. Buy the books, the videos. I mean, I spend half my time going, buy this video so I make $10 so I can try to fill the gas tank up here with the 30-something people I got. I'm greedy to fight tyranny. I'm greedy to have these great minds here and put them to work fighting tyranny and unloosing the power. This contest was the most successful ever. It has been so incredible to see all that you have to offer. And here we are, like 5 minutes till live airtime. We're still taping the live show. I'll have to like loop back in and do part of the show like last night or 2 nights ago. Everybody won in different ways. And again, I had no idea we'd get 1,000 entries, 600 that followed the rules plus. It's like 640 something. This has basically, we've had to do whole weeks of rebroadcast because of this. So it's not perfect. You know, we've got people like Jennifer Collins, Melissa Melton, Linda West. We had impromptu, non-scientific votes. Linda West won. But the final equation, it's about following the basics of it being a news report. And you all did a great job. And I want to talk to you all with our tiny skeleton crew who's busy doing news. So we don't even have a division that hires. And then it's like consulting. How do you know who to hire? But we want to offer you all a job. Okay, I'm going to mention these top 3 women. And I want to tell you all, we want to talk to you, try to talk about our budget, try to hire you, try to get you here. Or if not, have you as a correspondent. Let's be clear. It's hard, but I got to tell you, because of her humor. I mean, you know, you've got poise, intelligence, beauty, smoky voice, Linda West. She'd be everybody's winner. But when it comes to doing news and the humor, all of it, Jennifer Collins is the winner. So there you go. You're the winner. You're the winner. Melissa Melton, great report, great focus, great intellect, everything. I mean, Linda West, I kind of let about 15 employees vote. I mean, Linda West probably would have been my final absolute pick, but in a way, we need people that can just produce and do it all like she did. We'll see what happens. Hey, just because you win $5,000 doesn't mean you actually get hired to work here. So everybody's a winner. All the top 10, all the hundreds of women that entered. I never felt, I never imagined it would feel so bad here doing this right now, when it should feel so good. All of you won by entering. Melissa Melton and Linda West, you are the runners-up right there, and we'd like to talk to you about working with us. Jennifer Collins, you win the $5,000. We want to talk to you about working for INFOWARS.com. So, good job, ladies. Incredible. We're going to go to break and come back with 2 interviews. A lot of hiring these reporters is to take some of the weight off me. I've been talking about 6 hours today. I mean, let me tell you, there's nobody in media works harder than I do except my crew. And we want to make you part of the crew. The male winners tomorrow. I said today, I normally am decisive. I can't decide. And again, I want to hire like 10 people, but I can't afford it. So we're looking at what's happening. We're looking at what's going on. Folks, go to InfoWarsShop.com, buy some books, buy some videos, support the sponsors, get some money in here. Because, I mean, these are incredible people. I want to get them in here. But they got to have editors to support them. They got to have IT people. I mean, it is InfoWars costs $4+ million to run a year. And we do it shoestring budget. That sounds like a lot. It's not. The rent on something this size in New York would be $4 million. Instead, it's like, I don't know, what's $16,000 times 12? I don't know. I mean, it's a big egg to crack, and I hate spending my time trying to raise money, but become